This is Tony Preston, and I'd like to talk to you today about stretching your scalenes to help you out with tingling or swollen hands. Maybe you wake up with them in the morning, or maybe you get some tingling when you're driving. This is usually part of a bigger problem of forward head posture. In forward head posture, our head begins to move forward in front of our trunk. When that happens, these muscles here in the top of the neck and these muscles here in the front of the neck at the bottom, they get tight, as well as this big muscle here that runs down the side of our neck. It kind of helps to pull our head down and forward some more. So we're going to do more than just take care of the scalenes. We want to prep that a little bit so that when we do stretch the scalenes, our head is still not as held into position. This follows the ice and stretch protocol. There's a post about that if you want to review that and kind of get familiar with just ice and stretch combined with active isolated stretching and how that works. The first thing that we want to do is to stretch this area in the back at the top. So I'm going to take my ice cube with the washcloth and I'm going to ice along through here, just that little area beneath the little bump. And I'm going to take the washcloth and dry as I go. Now that I've isolated that, I'm going to stretch, tucking my chin. I'm not bending over at the base of my neck, so I'm not bringing my head forward some more. I'm really keeping my head up over my hips and stretching straight down so I can feel this pull down the skin and into my upper back. Now I've opened up that a little bit, and so the next thing I'd like to do is to take this side, to open up that ridge right there at the base of the head a little bit more. So I'm going to ice that, turn my head and stretch. Okay, so I've opened up that side a little bit. Let's go ahead and open up the other side. Ice is a little cold. It aches a little bit on this side, which means it's probably a little more trigger point laden and needs a little bit more stretching. So I'm going to go ahead and it's true, that side does actually produce a little bit more pain than it did on the other side. So I've opened up the top and the back, and I've opened up either side. The next thing I want to do is to hit this big muscle through here. So I'm going to ice from the back of my ear down that muscle all the way down to where it attaches here. And it also runs out here. We can see it, it's got two heads coming through there. I'm going to catch both heads of that, dry it as I go. Now I'm going to turn my head. I like to pick a level on the wall and watch that go around so that my head actually stays level the entire time. I don't tilt up or tilt down. I go level. Okay, so I've done that side. Now let's catch this other side. I'm going to go ahead and ice this. Here it is. Okay, now okay. So I've stretched the back and I've opened up this big muscle here that kind of pulls our head forward, both of them on either side. Now we're going to go ahead and hit the main thing. Scalenes live here and they kind of pull this down in the front. So we're going to ice here, right over that area. A little achy. It's a good sign, means it needs some work. Okay. Now I'm going to turn my head and lift my jaw directly toward the ceiling. I can play with this angle a little bit. About right there, I can feel it pull into my chest. Just kind of moving the skin in my chest as well as getting a nice stretch across the base of my neck. Let's do the other side. Okay. Again, achy, especially up there near the mid-neck, up in that area. Okay. Okay, that's it. That kind of opens it up. I might stay focused on the fact that I want to keep my head back over my hips and not be craning my neck a lot. It'd be great if I could breathe from my diaphragm instead of using those neck muscles to try to pick up my chest for breathing especially when I'm seated or I'm leaning forward. All of those sort of things are helpful in keeping it from returning. Um, so that's the entire stretch routine. It took me less than 5 minutes to do it with an explanation. It takes about 2 minutes to do it when you do it by yourself. If you have any questions, you can send us an email or review the information on the website.